All right, hello everyone. I am back and I just wanted to come on here and just talk for a second. I just feel like if I don't talk about it tonight, I won't be able to sleep. It's just something I need to talk about, something I need to get off my mind because I've been sitting here doing some research about what I want to talk about with my next video. And um, my next some of the next topics that I did want to discuss about was just the woman's experience being a witness, or just say my experience being a witness as a woman. And um, just within my research, I was going over Deborah, who was a judge and judges. Mind you, I had, just like every child, I had the Bible storybook, read the Bible story from cover to cover. And then when I had children, I read it to them also. And Deborah, I just understand how I missed it, but yeah, I do understand how I missed it. But Deborah was a judge and a prophetess. And it says that Jehovah would give her information about the future for her to tell the people. So I realized that uh, her being a prophetess is no different than being a seer, like SER, or her being a fortune teller, or her being a tarot reader. It's no different. So it really surprised me that that is what the scriptures says that what she is. Because I did not bother to look it up. Mind you, I consider myself an educated woman. Um, I've always loved to read. I always kept a dictionary by my side to look up words. Um, Thought of myself as, semi-informed on things. Um, I knew about the story and talked about the story, but did I bother to really look into what was being said? Obviously, no, because I'm just now really paying attention to the fact that um, they were fortune tellers. And we as witnesses were told to stay away from tarot cards, tarot readings, fortune tellers, things like that. Yet, Deborah, who was one of the judges, who was, leading the Israelites, was a fortune teller. So, I guess you could say I'm also low-key embarrassed that I wasn't paying attention. And I was like, what was it? Why wasn't I paying attention? What was going on? And I'm not making excuses for myself, but I realize now that um, I was busy raising kids. I had three. I was busy raising kids, so um, even at the meetings, getting dressed, getting them there, getting to the meetings, and when they're little, um, you are up and down with them because if your child made any type of noise, you definitely had someone leaning over looking at you. Or literally, I had someone approach me one time, which my daughter was not being disruptive, but you need to leave the meeting with your daughter. So, and they had these rooms that you could go to sit in. Sometimes they were just in the bathroom, and there's a chair or two in there, so you could sit in there with your child until they come down, or whatever the case may be, as to what was going on with your child, or that you needed to feed them, or whatever. And then sometimes, depending on the kingdom hall you went to, there was a room that you could go in with a sound system so you could hear the meeting, and a window so you could see out. But it was pretty much not soundproof, but it was closed doors, so the disturbance of the children would not affect the rest of the meeting. So if you're someone who's not a Jehovah's Witness who's listening to this video, we didn't have Bible school for kids. We didn't have a daycare. Our children sat with us. Our children were with us the whole time. So the children weren't off somewhere else so we could just sit and listen and go along with what the preacher was saying. So with children, especially when they're young, you're up and down with them um, constantly until they fall asleep, or they eventually get to a point where they will sit quietly and keep themselves busy quietly, so that everybody could um, enjoy the meeting. But mind you, even as a parent, you're constantly on guard, um, wanting your child to be quiet, so you don't have to worry about prying eyes looking your way if they felt your child was being noisy is what I want to say. But so I realized with that, yeah, it definitely was up and down um, at meetings with the kids when they were young. Once they got older, they were good kids. They behaved. They would sit quietly and listen to the meetings. And then I thought about home life. There was times I worked two jobs. Um, there, I was also attending college and working at the same time. And I was very busy. My morning started out at 4:35 a.m. and didn't end until 10 o'clock at night. So very busy. So me having the time to completely read a whole watchtower, read the Awake magazine also, do my Bible reading, all that did not get done like it should. So I can honestly say I did not have a true knowledge of the Bible. And I see how I missed a lot because I realized I was just a functioning Jehovah's Witness to a certain extent. Mind you, not saying that um, my relationship with God does not matter. I was there because my relationship with God mattered. And I truly wholeheartedly believed in everything that I was being taught, that I heard, and my desire for my family to be a part of paradise was very important to me. I didn't want anyone in my family to not make it to paradise. Um, so attendance was important, attending the meetings, going out in fold service, and preparing for all that, and making sure once I had kids that they were having their Bible studies and had an idea of what was going on. Um, and then my husband was attending, got married, my husband was attending, and then making sure he was good, making sure he had what he needed. And um, yeah, just a whole lot of responsibility, and realizing that I was there physically, I was there spiritually too, because that mattered. But life was taking over, like wholeheartedly taking over, to a point to where I literally, from the age of 9 years old, um, just accepted what I was told, accepted what I read out of their publications, didn't validate it with any other publications, didn't validate it with the King James Bible, or told we didn't even need the King James Bible because they provided the Bible that we needed to learn everything from. Didn't read any other publications from any other sources. I literally only read and looked at and listened to the Bible tapes, videos that was provided for me. So I literally allowed myself to be completely brainwashed. 1000%. Completely brainwashed. No questioning, no, not questioning anything. There's a few things that I was like, And I did ask questions, and I was told it was just not time for me to understand that. Um, it was just not something that I needed to know just yet. And I just accepted that completely, absolutely, 1000% brainwashed. Um, there's, again, a few things that did bother me as a woman, like didn't understand why women weren't allowed to teach, preach. Um, and some of the older sisters that I knew who had been in the truth majority of their life, and they were actually teaching and running congregations when there was no brothers available. In the 60s and 70s, they were actually running the congregations and doing the teaching and having members coming in and opening the halls and closing the halls and doing all the things that the brothers did. So they actually felt kind of slighted because like we were good enough to do it then, but now we're um, not good enough to do it now. So just hearing their stories about how they felt slighted, and also how some of the brothers that got appointed to elders or ministerial servants or got the privileges were not even, some of the sisters said, as knowledgeable as they were on scripture. And so, yeah, just coming to realize that I literally was um, just following suit, just following suit. Just, it was just a routine that I was trying to keep up, to stay relevant, to stay active, to be deemed worthy, not be ostracized or judged, or you know, be a part of the group, because Katrina comes to all her meetings and she's out in field service and she's bringing her kids and, you know, making sure everybody's good. And studying the Watchtower to a certain extent, to where you read through it, you pick a question or two that you know that you could answer, and those are the ones that you picked because you really didn't have time to truly go through the Watchtower um, in a way that you needed to. Um, I did try. I tried to make sure I did read all my Watchtowers, read all my awakes, but again, life, like literally life. Um, Working full time and going to college full time. Um, Majority of the time I went full time. Sometimes I would do a split shift. I'd go to work, go to class, go back to work, and pick up my kids and then go home. So, and then feed them, make sure they did their homework, and put them to bed. So, definitely a full day. Um, no regrets. I love being a parent. Love my kids. So that was not the issue. Having a family was not the issue at all. Not complaining about that. My um, whole purpose of this video was coming to understand that I literally was just the word. I was just functioning. I was like, I don't even know how to describe it anymore. But I realized that I did not know scripture, and that I literally was, the only knowledge I had in my head was what the Jehovah's Witnesses taught. And that's a terrible place to be in, to where you don't even take the time to look beyond what you've been taught. That is 100% cult behavior. And I was very much in a cult. And easily I don't even have words for it anymore. I don't have words for it anymore. But yeah, so that's what I had to get off my chest, and I'll be back for another video.